Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon. Wherever you may be watching this transmission, it is I, Mike Martins. Okay, guys, Happy New Year. Average rent prices in BC are expected to reach $2,600 in 2020. Yes, 2,600 Canadian dollars. That's roughly 2,000 US in 2020. That's in BC. Now, that's not just Vancouver, it's spreading through the province. Guys, don't forget to join me tonight on Trends in the Housing Market. And somebody sent me a very just brief email asking, Mike, it says, Mike, I can't believe it. You've been prophesizing this for so many years and I've been deaf to it. Now it's happening. I remember watching you on Trends in the Housing Market in 2015. So here it is, guys. Trends in the housing market. So if you want to hear about housing, rentals, blah, 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 what's happening in the Commonwealth, whether you're in Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, even Western United States, we will be discussing this and these events that are happening. So here it is. We got here. If you if you go back here, sorry, someone's just ringing my doorbell. I don't know who it is. So we got trends in the housing market October 1st. So we got, sorry, I'm just throwing off my mark here. Okay, we got, where was it? Sydney edition here. Yeah, Australian edition trends in the housing market from 3.5 years ago. Trends in the housing market, November. Trends in the housing market, where was it? Australia, wake up. Trends in the housing market, New Zealand edition. Trends in the housing market, Scotland edition. And housing, of course, Toronto, New Zealand, Australia, Toronto, California, Los Angeles, United States. And why? Because every country in the Commonwealth is being gripped with the same thing: stagnant wages. Wages aren't keeping up with the price of housing, and price of housing is being sold off to the highest bidders. The highest bidders are basically winning at the bidding platforms. And it's been a new phenomena in countries like Ireland and Scotland because they've never seen bidding wars until about a year or 2 years ago. Same thing with Montreal in Canada. They just started seeing bidding wars 2 years ago, where BC has been seeing British Columbia, this province here, has been seeing bidding wars for the last 7, 8, 9 years now. Well, how is this affecting? It's affecting it really bad. So, Happy New Year! Average rent prices in BC are expected to reach $2,600 in 2020. So how much do you need to make? Well, let's get our trusty calculator out here. So we could calculate this. So $2,600, that's for the average. So you want to multiply that by 3.2 equal what? Hold on. No, so let's put the TDS at 50%. So let's put the TDS at 50%, 2.6. Wow, you have to net 60. Yeah, that's if you want to buy food. That's if you want to buy food, car insurance, insurances, pay your bills. Yeah, 2.6 if TDS is sitting at 50%. That's provided you have no credit cards. So let's do 2.15, but that's going to put you too high. So 55.90. So you have to gross like 8,000 a month, or 7,700 a month to take home 55.90. I know people watching the States are probably freaking out and saying, "What are you talking about? Like, Florida's a work-free state. Like, we pay 3% of our income, or income tax 3%. You know what I'm saying? So there it is there. So you got to make a lot of money to just have an apartment, basically. Okay, 2,600. That's in British Columbia. So let's continue here. That time of the year when you start thinking about New Year resolutions is near. But there's one thing that isn't changing for the better. The average rent price in BC, according to Rentals.ca, the Ottawa-based listing provider and data aggregator, the average rent price in Vancouver is expected to surpass $2,423 in 2020, spiking to $25,583 by December 2020. So remember. Let me bring this up here. It's very important, actually. I think it was 3,200. Let me just bring this up here. There's an article I brought up too, right here. Yeah. City of Vancouver now defines $3,702 rent as affordable housing. So what are they doing here? Now, this is very important. They need to, City of Vancouver needs to issue affordable housing. Now, they want to pinpoint that 3702 is affordable housing. It should be for people that are low income. Now, to qualify for that, you need to make 106 to 110,000 a year. What they want to do in Vancouver is not lose their professionals. So why would you rent an apartment and pay $3,700? You see what I'm trying to say here? They're trying to keep the professionals in and the poor people out. The poor people obviously don't make $110,000 a year to be deemed as affordable housing. That's their way to keep their police officers, all their different garbage collectors, post office workers, transit, and you see what's happening down on the coast with the transit, right? So this is a big deal, guys. When they deem that much, you know what they mean? They don't want to lose their doctors. They don't want to lose their professionals. So if you make $110,000 a year, then you're considered low income. Then you could still live in Vancouver under Affordable Housing Act. But that's how much money you have to dish out to pay, basically, for your affordable housing. I've already covered this in depth on the channel a lot. Look at this. Housing crisis, Australia. Get out of Sydney. I bought a house. The war ain't over. Housing conspiracy, the big city. Telling people about the big cities, you know? All right. The average it's okay. Overall, the average rent in Vancouver in 2019 was $23.51. That includes all property types such as basement apartments, rental apartments, condominiums, townhouse, semi-detached homes, and single-detached homes. So it's a melting pot of all of them, right? But it's average. So you got to kind of you got to wash your laundry together. So whether you're looking for a home for $2,300, then 23 or 2,500, you're going to be way out of the city, and you're going to be way out of the way from everything. So it is like in BC as a whole. So that they're basically doing the laundry all colors and all types together, right? Vancouver ranks fourth on Rentals.ca. So the national rent ranking on December 2019, the average one bedroom sits at $1,967, and the average two bedroom rent is $3,058. Going back to this, right? And this is very important. That this is a very important. This was actually in March 1st, 2018. The City of Vancouver defines $3,702 rent as affordable. I covered this story, and I covered others before because of professionals. Professionals make enough, but they're being told, oh, no, we'll just give you affordable housing and this and this and that. People shouldn't be massaged into believing that living in having a position or a profession that's supposed to be live the high life when you're just renting an apartment. Yeah, no. Go to Fort Worth, Texas. Go somewhere else. There's a lot more out there, believe me. Ontario, Toronto, Etobicoke, Richmond Hill rank the top of the list, with Toronto's average one-bedroom rent is $2,314, and the average two-bedroom rent is $2,966. Wow. When you consider the fact downtrodden driveway here costs $108,000, the most expensive mansion in Vancouver costs $58 million. However, these numbers are likely don't come as a shock. But the $58 million mansion, I could show you the same house pretty much with the same specs in West Palm Beach, like down the street from where our friend Mr. Trump lives, for just under $2 million. So you don't need to spend this much money in Canada to live luxury. In America, it's way too much. And this driveway, remember we covered this? There's somebody that watches my channel that actually walks by this driveway and looks at it and sighs and says, Mike Martins. Every time I walk by this driveway, I think of you. This driveway's for sale. I covered this also on my channel. Let's see if we could find it here. Guys, subscribe to the channel. Look at all the trends in the housing market, where I'm comparing the entire Commonwealth and kind of showing the same patterns. And the same patterns are basically, let's see if we could find the driveway here. Drive. Guys, go ahead and explore the channel once in a while when you're bored. Driveway. That's me paving my driveway. No. Oh, it's not here. I did a whole video. I know it's under ripoff. I know it's under ripoff. You type in ripoff. Unless they took those down. I don't think they did. Yeah, Toronto real estate ripoff, effing ripoff. Yeah, it's under one of these. Yeah, there it is. There's a drive. There it is. Toronto housing ripoff. No, that's the garage in Toronto, but there's a driveway I did. Effing ripoff. Sydney housing ripoff. Canadian housing ripoff. I did one for Auckland. Yeah, this is for Sydney, Australia. 1.6 million for this. Guys, explore the channel. Look at this. Vancouver. This is housing law. Anyways, guys, I love you guys, man. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Rents are going to go up. This is not old news, but preparedness is important. Prepare yourselves, guys. And like I said, back in the day, the ones that got out of the big cities are messaging me all the time. Oh, Mike, I live 3 hours away from Toronto. Mike, I live 3 hours away from Vancouver, and it was the greatest thing I did at the right time. Even my area is going up in value. I'm so lucky I got out when I did and bought when he said. A lot of people, it's not just one or two, but quite a few people are saying, you know, my life and my lifestyle has changed to the best. And that's it, guys. Let me know. Comment below. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to support me on Patreon or throw me a little tip in the tip jar. Thanks for watching.